Hey friends, welcome back to Channel Surf. If this is your first time here, I'm Jazz and I watch a shit ton of TV, and you guys might notice something a little different. The hair is out, it's down. I mean, it's not mine, but it looks like mine. Anyway, as you guys know, I watch a shit ton of TV, and one of the shows that I've been watching and recapping is the Real Housewives of Potomac. And you guys know I like to bring on a guest to talk about the craziness that is this show with me. So today I have writer and culture critic Carlos J. Harris. Hi, Carlos.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Channel Star friends? And let me just tell you, and just tell your audience that Jasmine is beautiful without glasses. She gave me she was like, should I do glasses? No glasses. I'm like, first of all, it's mug. So
Down.
yeah,
Down.
there. So yeah, I like the versatility. So I'm here and I'm happy to discuss Potomac because I think they've had a solid season so far.
They have so far, and thank you so much for the compliments. And just for my subscribers, so Carlos and I follow each other on social media. Go follow him on Twitter if you don't. He has amazing tweets. But we officially met virtually on reality right after with Wellington, and we just had a really good time. So, do you want to tell my subscribers anything about yourself before we jump into Potomac?
Well, sure. I'll just give you a quick little soundbite. I am a writer. I started with Triangle, the web series, back in 2014, and from that became 5 other shows. I do currently have a show called Dark Horse on Tubi, so you can catch that on Tubi TV. And I'm also a contributing writer for Swerve Magazine.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. I'm gonna have to check it out because I feel like Tubi gets a bad rap, but little do people know Tubi has probably the best like curated lists for movies and TV shows in all of the streaming services.
Yes, and I was honestly watching the original Dynasty. I am a huge soap opera buff. Triangle, the web series, takes the elements of 80s soap opera and grandeur, and we kind of center Black queer characters. Yeah, I was watching the original Dynasty. I've seen the original 1,000 times. I'm an 80s kid, people. So I'm from that era. So anytime just to watch the beautiful Diane Carroll,
Yeah. Rest in
just her out, like the scenes with her and Billy D. Williams, I think season 5.
Mhm.
This lady is stunning. And the fact
Seriously.
she came into the show and she was just as glamorous, just as beautiful, just as powerful as these wealthy white people was like unheard of back in the 80s, you know?
Yeah, I love her so much. I love that clip of her when she's talking about when her agent wanted to book her on Dynasty, and she's like, "I told him I want to be the first Black bitch on television."
Yes. And this is glamorous. And you can
Yes,
tell Alexis, she secretly lived for her, but she
yes.
couldn't tell her she lived for her.
But
Yeah.
we could go on and on about Miss Beautiful, Perfect Diane Carroll. Rest in peace to a true queen. But we're here to talk about these ladies in Potomac. So this episode 12 of season 10, Potomac, Ponies, and Problems is what the episode is titled. And I mentioned this last week when I had Justin Cologne on, and I'm like, where were the ponies?
I'm thinking the cowboy boots and the hats, but
Mhm.
yeah, at least give me like a fake, blow up pony or something. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that was missing. It didn't correlate to the actual field day because it was a field day.
It was a field day. It was just an indoor field day. So come on, Robin, your impact. Because didn't Robin do a field day a couple seasons
Yes,
ago? Influential.
yes, and I think Potomac gets a lot of people give Potomac a lot of crap, and we do as well when
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
warranted. I just think that it been the field day, and with the cutaway, like the B-roll shot to the city. I'm from DC, so I can critique DC. It's too regular. It's too everyday. It's too pedestrian,
Yes.
and just I think if it was catered, maybe yes,
Mhm.
catered with a chef to kind of elevate this like field day. But when it's like a hosh posh potluck, it's like y'all women make the majority of them make great money on this show. It's come on, please, please.
Like, why are you having Popeyes at the function and Ashley's bringing her catfish and just all of it? Yeah, you're right. It should have been catered. Like for what it's worth,
Hmm.
Beverly Hills, I don't think is as exciting and has not ever been really that much more exciting than I would say Potomac or Atlanta. But I live for the aesthetic and the glamour of Beverly Hills and the aspirational lifestyles. And you're right. I want Potomac to give that. And I do feel like when I'm watching Potomac, everything, I'm like, if I haven't done it already, if I'm not doing it right now, I can do that's not out of the realm of possibilities. But just this last episode of Beverly Hills, or the episode before when Kyle took her daughter to her wedding registry, I'm like, I don't even know what store they are in. That's
and,
how out of my tax bracket they are. I don't even know the store.
and that's the thing, you want to write down these spots and look them up.
Yeah.
And as I've always said for years, like if you are from DC or live here and your parents make, a certain amount of money, they're living the same, like you're living the same lifestyle these women on the show. So I personally don't see a difference. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I think that's why this show really relies heavily on humor, because they have to, like, it has to be like a something distinctive. And of course, the camaraderie between Karen and Giselle, they make the show. So if they're not leading with wealth, or they're not even leading with aspirational wealth, I think Wendy is currently the most person who was leading with lifestyle, because we saw her home. But other than that, it's just regular, and nothing's wrong with regular,
Sure.
but like we're on the show, we watch TV to be inspired and entertained, not seeing stuff that we can just do ourselves.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head, right? We're not watching this to see average lifestyles, which nothing wrong with average lifestyles. It's an average. Most people live like
Yeah,
that, right? So
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. But I'm watching reality TV because I want to be like, ooh, oh.
Like
Right.
let me write this down and see where
Yeah.
it's going.
Exactly. So yeah, Potomac, ponies, and problems. No ponies, lots of problems though. Okay. Ashley is accusing Angel of moving to Potomac just to be on the show. And Angel, she tries to shade Ashley, like, I would move to Potomac just to be with Giselle and Ashley. And I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah.
I okay, this is I was conflicted because I think this has been a great opportunity to like break the fourth wall. I know Giselle did it last episode when she
Yeah.
said Andrew moved for the show. Bronwyn moved for the show in Salt Lake City.
Mhm.
Ms. Marks, Salt Lake City.
Right.
Jessel moved from Texas to New York for the New York reboot. So it's these women move to to a town to film a show. I don't see the issue with that. I almost wish Angel would have hit her back with a more punchier, reply. And I think someone's point, I think Giselle said it, where she said Angel like goes home, thinks about it, and comes back. And I think that's why she needs another season, because now that she's experienced this, she can be a little more quicker, because I don't think she's a bad hire for the show. I just think she just needs more time to get her footing. I think it was so cruddy for the women to confront her with her daughter right there.
Yeah.
That to me was like
Tacky.
so, I was like, because if it was one of them and they were holding their kid, that they would go stir crazy. So I just think
Exactly.
so unfair.
Yeah, the whole thing, honestly, embarrassing her in front of her husband with the catfish thing in the previous episode, I thought was just very tasteless, but very on par for the way that these ladies get down. And to your point, while I have not been a fan of Angel, I do agree that she needs another season, because your first season, you are just in shock. You don't know what's happening. We see that Angel is a delayed process, like she processes things late. I think another season, she can watch the season back, because we already can see she's getting some fire under her ass already. She was on Twitter going off. She said the reunion is going down.
And I hope she's present and it's not rehearsed reads. Do
Please,
not rehearse, please. For the life
PSA, stop with these fucking rehearsed reads. We can always tell.
always tell. I'm
We
like,
can always tell. Stop with the rehearsed reads, girls, because we can always tell. I mean, the most famous rehearsed read of all time is the Dominoes read from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I'm shocked still to this day, in the year of our Lord 2025, that people think that Phaedra came off the dome with that.
Jazz, this is why you and I connect,
We
because
see each
I've been
other.
saying this for yonder. That was rehearsed.
So rehearsed.
Just
So
like Phaedra's rehearsed naivete that she didn't know her husband was a criminal. But I digress. I'm like, you can't tell me you're the smartest person in the room. You're telling me you're selling this intellect from the moment you joined this show, but
yeah.
you haven't seen Apollo's W-2 form, check his place of employment. But we'll let her live. This is Papa Potomac.
This is about Potomac, but look, when Atlanta comes back, because she's going to be on this upcoming season, right?
Unfortunately.
Oh, we are going to have a time with Phaedra. You will be
Yeah.
back, because we can dig into Miss Ma'am. But just jumping right back into this episode. So then we cut to Eddie and he's talking about their anniversaries coming up. And I can't help but think that production is being extremely shady. If this is all just a coincidence, how lucky. You don't think it's a coincidence?
No, no, it's not. Even them adding in their daughter Cameron telling Stacy and her husband that her dad was getting her a fourth
A
phone.
fourth
Those little
phone.
tidbits, that's cutting room floor. That's
Yeah.
because it doesn't serve a purpose for the point, for the overall storyline for Wendy. So of course
Right.
they are going back and re-editing this, adding these scenes in. I felt bad for Eddie because I can almost tell that Eddie was kind of like the lead husband or the lead male in that scene to kind of like have
Yeah.
have some camaraderie and stuff. But yeah, every scene with them, I'm just like,
Every scene is a whack. And I feel like, do you think the prosecution is watching this, doing the
oh
Birdman hand rub?
yeah. Carol
Yeah.
Carroll County is watching. When her mama said this cost you arm and leg, Carroll County was giving this.
Writing in the handy dandy notebook, okay? Every cost. Yeah, Eddie says that Wendy wants a new ring for their anniversary, and I'm just like, oh my god, y'all, what's going on? And I feel so sad. And like the photos of them in court have been. Oh, your friends has
Yes,
been doing
Taria.
live coverage.
Yes,
Please shout her out.
yes, Taria from the What Else Is Going On podcast, Taria Faison. She was there. We talked all weekend. I talked to her last night too. Yes, she was there. And she was also in Kempire this weekend, giving out the details of what happened.
Awesome, love
And
Empire.
her now like going back, she was saying that Wendy kept like looking back and kind of looking at her and the other a few podcasters that were there at the time. But she was like, it's just not looking good. And the
Damn.
fact that I was on her show the day before Thanksgiving, and
Mhm.
I predicted, I said, if the prosecution is allowed to enter in their bank statements and all their financials, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I think, my thing is this: I'm so torn because I know Wendy and Eddie need the money
Yeah.
to support their defense. They are entitled to a great defense team. Their trial starts in April. They typically start filming, but they may bump it up if she, stays around. But I'm like, can she stay on the show and and just kind of like take her punches? Because they're going to go in. Ashley is going to lead that. And I think if Wendy sits out, Ashley gets friend of because there will be, to
Mm.
me, there's no point for Ashley to come back full term.
Mhm.
But I think everything hinges on the fact that if Wendy returns, what do you think, Jazz? Do you think she should return to get the money and face the women, or should she shut it out?
Yeah, I think she should return. I think, Teresa from New Jersey,
Yeah.
we were able to see this play out for her on the show. I think we should also do that with Wendy. The crimes that these women commit, I don't want to say they're victimless crimes, right? This is not a victimless crime. This is very different from scamming old people out of their retirement funds, though. And so I'm glad that Jen Shaw is not getting she's not coming back at all. I think with Wendy, I want to count down to lockdown, Lil Kim
Little
being
Kim,
that
yes.
special.
Yes.
I want that, and I keep saying every time I joke about Wendy on here, I'm like, she's gonna see me in person, and she's going to give me the nastiest look because I keep making jokes about it. But if this is her reality, I want to see that.
Okay, and another thing too, because Taria has video of her being interviewed by ABC News. Why is Mama walking up in the courtroom as if her and Eddie are fresh out of glam? I'm like, who's her legal team? She should not be that. I mean, we're not saying look like a hobo, but
Right,
you're
right.
what you're charged with, and you walk in there fresh. The hair's fine, but like the
Mhm.
come on,
It's
Wendy.
the wig, the beat,
Yes,
the coat, the outfit, like, they
everything.
look so expensive, and, typically, we love that, but it's like, you should tone it down, maybe give the girl some Zara, you know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
need to walk in there with your finery, but give a cute Zara power
yeah,
suit, you know what I'm saying? Like, something like
regular.
that.
Like, and to
Yeah.
your point that you made on Wellington's podcast, it's like she was just her need to impress
Yes.
just people in general kind of
Mhm.
it like it's escaped her, and I think it's okay. You would think she'd been smarter, her and her husband would be smarter just to kind of be more toned down. Hopefully when the trial starts or her next court appearance in January,
Mhm.
the attire is a little more toned and polished because you can't sit
I don't think
in.
so. Yeah. Wendy is very egotistical. Like, I think we've been able to see that on the show. She is led so much by her ego and, again, her need to impress. That doesn't go away, right? She's somebody and I think her ego is why she went to BravoCon. I think we were talking about this
Yes.
on Wellington's
Mhm.
podcast. That's why she went to BravoCon. That's why she will come back next season if she's not in Sing Sing. She's gonna be back because she is like, "No, I'm a proud person," and there's a part of me that really admires that. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Okay, you are willing to take your lashings. You are willing to be asked a million questions about this. You know what these ladies give by now. So you know coming back, they're going all in on you. I would be surprised if her and Giselle's friendship lasts the season that Wendy is because Giselle wants the show to be good. She's
Yes.
gonna go in on Wendy.
Yeah, she will. She
Yeah.
will. And you made a perfect point. Giselle wants the show to be successful.
Hmm.
In order to do that next season, yes, Karen is coming, but Karen's not gonna be she's not gonna be the same Karen of yesteryear for her first return.
Right.
She'll settle in, get her footing, and
Hmm.
play, mama Surrey County, but she won't give us Grand Dame until after
Hmm.
another 2 seasons. But that friendship between Giselle and Wendy is going to be,
Yeah.
and I think it can't be all on Ashley to do Giselle's dirty work because to me, Ashley is the Robin to Giselle.
I was literally gonna say that. That's no disrespect, her puppet. Ashley is
Yeah,
Giselle's puppet. That's Giselle is a puppet master, you know what I'm saying? So she needs that puppet. Ashley is filling that role for her right now. And I think with Wendy, with the reunion, somebody on TikTok made a really good point. But she's not gonna give us much at the reunion because the case is still ongoing. So she's going to be able to skate by because, oh, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that. So she's not gonna give us that at the reunion, but next season, oh, peace be
but
with.
another person too who can really go at her is Angel. I know Angel is, oh yes. Yeah, I forgot about her. I'm like, wait, she'll return next season, or even at the reunion, she can start sharpening her tools if she's so ready for these women as she says. I think she's another one who can really let Wendy have it next season.
Damn, yeah.
Actually, have an actual gripe with her, and not just like you laughed because that's done, But anyway,
You are so right about that. Angel has all the ammunition she needs now.
yes,
She better start tuning up at the reunion because I don't know. I think Angel is such a polarizing character for
uh,
this show that that alone warrants a second season. I think so, you know what I mean? She has the lifestyle that we should be having on these shows, but for whatever reason, the audience is just not connecting. And I think I made this prediction. They are going so hard on Angel on the show. I
mhm.
think it's going to start to cause the audience to find things about Angel to like
Yeah,
because no one wants to see a dead horse continue to be beaten, right? So they keep going on with this catfish thing. Now it's the whole eviction thing. We know this Colorado trip is about to be the trip from hell for Angel. I think the audience is going to say, "Wait a minute, she's being bullied. Maybe we do love her home. Maybe maybe we do like her delayed reads and responses in her confessionals. Maybe we do want to see her in season 2 and she's going to come back not full Stacy where she's going to be loved by all,
yeah.
but I think she has the opportunity to turn things around."
Of course, and you made great points. The audience will start to turn. I mean, we already are all fans of Bobby just from
Mhm.
presentation alone.
Yeah.
So it's like Andy's like
Yep.
Bobby reasons to keep Angel. Bobby.
Bobby.
Then number two, the lifestyle. I think Angel. I like no, but it's funny because people are giving her gripe of it like not connecting to her, but also too they're not connecting to Tia as well. But she doesn't get the same amount of energy
Mm.
as Angel, So I do find that very, very interesting.
Well, Tia's a lot more lighthearted, you know what I'm saying? I think Tia is what we are looking for in these housewives. We've seen
Yes.
her in conflict, and the way that she handles the conflict is like, "Okay, I'll get down there with you, then I'm gonna laugh it off literally a second later." I think that's what we want, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have our tiff for the cameras, give the little drama, and then, hey, it's not real beef though. We're on a show together, we're on a trip together. So I think that's why Tia is a lot more likable right now because she's just allowing things to
Yeah.
roll off of her back. I do think with Tia though, I like Tia a lot, but I think Tia wants to stay on the good side of Giselle and Ashley and all of those people. So I think a second season with Tia will see her doing a lot more to keep those friendships intact, and I think that's when things are gonna get interesting for her.
You made a great point, and I think that's the issue. And I commented on Twitter/X 2 weeks ago, and I had a picture of Giselle and Kyle. I said these are what's wrong with their shows, and because I think I'll say one woman, when the one woman or person hoards the power,
Mhm,
it's hard for the other cast members or other people to really kind of etch out their own identity,
mhm.
outside of that person. Wendy has been successful at that, but she had to go
Yep.
through hell to
Mhm.
get there. And the producers had to talk to Giselle to get her to back off of Wendy and to kind of like come to some type of agreement to move on. But
Yeah.
because I was thinking like if Ashley didn't return next season, Angel would be the new Ashley, meaning that she would just kind of suck up to Giselle. Giselle would take her because
Oh.
remember she said, I'm just so hurt by Giselle. I just thought I saw her as a big sister. I'm like,
Yeah.
know her. You know her through
Never gave
the
that. Yeah.
so I get it. I was like, oh, so when she said that, I said, oh, okay. So if Ashley is gone, then Angel would come up under Giselle's bosom and would do all the spraying and all the storyline and all the.
Yeah.
I think she would. I think she would like that. So it's just hard. It's just kind of hard to watch to see the women kind of jockey for position. For to be under like the lead person of the show. It's not fun to watch.
Do you think we will see a day when Giselle is no longer on Potomac?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, you
To
know
me,
what? Better
yes.
question.
Uh-huh.
Will she leave or will they get rid of her? That's the better question because I think
I think
realistically, obviously.
they would have to get rid of her.
Okay.
To me, Karen can outlast Giselle.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
because Karen, they all respect Karen.
Sure. Yep.
That mother energy. One thing about
Yeah.
I will say this, and the reason why I enjoy Karen, I think Karen has such a huge fan base within Bravo. We've seen her elevate and seen her take the punches, and she has taken that moniker of the Grand Dame and really, tongue in cheek. She's kitschy with it. And she
Mhm.
doesn't take herself too seriously. And we love to see Surrey County. So it's all the delusions, but at the same time, we have the fandom has a part in that because those delusions have led her to 4 DUIs and the prison stint. So
Mhm.
it's a very slippery slope.
It
It's a
is.
very slippery slope. However, overall, to me, Karen has navigated this platform way better than Giselle. Giselle is just pretty. That's it.
She's
To
pretty
me,
and she's messy. Yeah.
that's it.
Pretty and messy, but you're
That's it.
absolutely right, and also the other thing, Karen gives us personal story. We do
Yes.
not see Giselle's story past her daughters, and,
Mm.
oh, and this thing with her dad's will, that's probably that's as deep as it's getting with her, but
Yeah.
Karen we're about to see Karen have a Diane Sawyer,
Yes.
Barbara Walters sit down with Andy Cohen to talk about her addiction to alcohol.
I am here. I might tell you, I am here for Karen.
Yeah.
Of course, what she did was awful.
Mhm.
She did her
Absolutely.
time, but yeah, Giselle can go and Potomac can still thrive.
I agree with you. So
Yeah.
we'll jump back into this
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
right now with Timo, Stacey's husband. They showed that he stayed at the party for 32 minutes, which to me, they're lucky he even showed up. I don't blame him for getting out of there. What did you think about that?
I don't blame him as well. And also, too, they're acting as if the women acting as if they haven't accused women's husbands of sexual assault, grabbing butts, what had Happy Eddie and all that. Like they have been responsible. Giselle, Ashley,
Mhm.
they have been responsible for making the last few seasons of this show so dark,
Yeah.
so heavy, so divisive. Of course, Stacy and her husband watched the show before,
Yeah.
so they know. No, come on, like
Yeah.
of course he won't be who will be comfortable. I'm surprised
Exactly.
even Eddie has returned, but of course he did it for Wendy. But those women are dangerous.
They are.
Ashley's comment that Bobby has a temper, I'm like, this woman is so dark.
She's starting.
It's so when I tell you that comment to me was so gross because
And it was pointed.
where are you trying to go with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when it's like I can never roll with Ashley. I can
She's
never.
very slimy in that way. Like, you can
Ugh,
almost see when she's trying to lay breadcrumbs for something that she's trying to make a bigger thing, and
yeah.
I just don't see it for her. So then, speaking of Ashley, though, Charrisse's son shows up. Now, what do you think of this? So, her son is 27. Her son and Ashley have a 10-year age gap, and
Uh-huh.
apparently this kiss happened in 2023 where he was still very much into his 20s, very much still an adult, but the optics of it being your friend's son is what would make me not. But what do you think about that?
My initial reaction, I'll be very honest. I said, I see Ashley is taking the predatory tools that Michael Darby gave her. I'm I don't mean no harm. I don't mean no. I, like that to me is gross. This show has been on for what, 10 years, 9, 10 years. So when Ashley started, she was in her
Mm,
20s, early because she was in her like 25, 26.
yeah, I see where
Charrisse's
you're going.
son Jordan was 10, 11. So she have seen this boy grow up
Mm,
literally from a kid to a teen to young adult. You kissed him and then blamed it on drinks. And then to your point, Ashley drops little information, but then she sits back and like waits for a reaction to see what you will say. And she almost implied that something else happened.
yes,
Like,
yes, I
girl,
caught that too.
it's
I
just it's just too much. She's not enjoyable, and I just think it was. I'm not calling Ashley a predator at all. I'm not calling
mhm,
because Jordan is a grown man, but I
sure.
think it's something very creepy for you to kiss and quite sure make out with your friend's son, who you literally has known since he was a kid.
Yeah, that's I didn't even think about the fact that, yeah, she's been on since season 1, which means that he would have been a teenager during that time. So to watch someone go from a teenager to a young man and then you kiss them, that feels especially gross to me. And he is an attractive man. Like, I was looking at
Yeah,
him on the screen and I was like, he's cute if he's not your friend's son.
that you've
That
known since he was a teenager,
Yes, yes,
right?
like, cute younger guy walks into a bar, cool, have a time, have a night, have many nights,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
But Charisse's son walks into a bar at 27, I'm still looking at you like you're 15 years old, get the hell get the most I'll do for you, I'll buy you a drink, go on with your little friends. That's the most you can give.
And Charrisse, I to me, I have this like affinity for her because Mama always shows up and positions herself next to somebody with a camera so they can't edit her out. I know she wanted to say more, but she's like, I'm doing this for free. I want to be on here in my lingerie top and jean jacket and just, get a little action. So I'm not, I know she wanted to say more,
Yeah.
but she, Mama going to take her free press and promomo.
Uh-huh, exactly, and her free Popeyes on
Yeah.
the field day.
Not the
Not
Popeye.
that she needs it. Charisse is moneyed, okay? She
Yeah.
doesn't need Popeyes and reheated catfish at the indoor rec center, but yeah,
It was. It was.
very much that. And then Cameron, Wendy's daughter, Stacey tries to give her a special American flag plate, and Cameron goes, "A Donald Trump plate?"
That's crazy that kids correlate. And that's why that man, DT, I understand his full name, he's a great communicator because he's
Uh-huh.
effective. He's a
Yeah.
poor, whatever, but
Mhm, mhm.
communication, because if a child can correlate the American flag with him,
Yes.
that is wild.
Yeah. Stacey tried to give her some of the potato salad. I wanna say this about Stacey's potato salad. It looked a little too wet to me,
Okay.
but it didn't look bad.
No, it didn't. It didn't look. I think another thing, these women kind of taking something so small and then trying to elevate it to something that is not. And I think that's the recurring issue with these
Yeah.
women on the show.
Yeah, it is. And then we get to Stacey's house with her and Timo, and
Mhm.
they are working out. I thought it was funny that Stacey was asking if this exercise will give her a bigger butt, and Timo was offended, like, "What? I don't
Yeah,
want you to have a bigger butt." Very
yeah.
European.
Yes, of course. I appreciate this small scene with Stacey and Timu because we got to hear him speak,
Yeah.
more than 3 words. And it kind of like I'm all for scenes that help flesh out these women's stories outside of the group.
Mhm.
So to hear about their dynamic and him being happy that they were back together, because it's one thing for the woman to say, "Yes, we're back together. We're so happy, we're so happy." I need to hear the man say it too.
Yes.
Me personally, 'cause I don't like to see no woman worshiping no man. I just think it's gross. I need the man to be just as happy and content with his woman as well. So me personally, hearing him say how he was happy they're back together, he's back moving in, and you could tell he loves Stacey. You can tell he didn't seem like it was a gun to his back and
Right.
he was saying these lines for the camera. You can tell when she was speaking, he was looking at her like he loves Stacey, and it's evident.
He does, and he's cute too. Like, I
Yeah,
was looking at him, I
yeah,
was like, "Well, he's kinda
yeah,
fine in Kenya's
yes,
voice."
yeah, he is. I'm not even going front. Yeah,
Yeah, he's cute, and you could tell he's the type of cute that he's cute now as an older guy, but I'm like, "Oh, I can see." He probably was very cute back in the
uh,
day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out to you, Stacey. So then we quick flash into Wendy's house and she calls her dad. Her renovations are done. She calls her father. He sounds very almost disinterested and dismissive at first. And I felt so sad for her.
I did that whole. I was kind of like tense watching it
Yeah.
because hearing Wendy speak, even later seeing with her mom, it was almost like a little girl speaking.
Yes.
Because we're not used to hearing Wendy speak like this. It was more not relaxed, but almost like not almost like a childlike, because she
Yes.
wasn't baby talk, but it was a voice that we, the audience, have never heard.
Very subdued.
Subdued,
Yeah. Very
very,
subdued. And
very sub.
even
Yes,
yeah, even his name in her phone being daddy, right? Like,
yes,
that stood out to me too, because I think when girls say, my
yeah,
daddy," it's very much, "That's my guy, that's my protector." For her
yeah.
to have his name as daddy, I thought that was a detail that I just took that in the back of my mind. I was like, she wants that relationship with him.
And I was just so happy that he agreed to FaceTime
Yeah,
because I
me
was
too.
like, please let him do it, please.
I was holding my breath too, yeah.
I'm so happy because you can tell that she was relieved, like he wanted to see me. I'm like,
Yeah.
and it's kind of sad that we, even as an audience, felt her in that moment, those little small nuggets. I was just so happy that Wendy had that moment, that FaceTime moment with him. And I don't know, to her sister's point, it's just words. And if she's gonna
Right.
look for like a follow-up, because it's the follow-up is always the clincher. Because you
Mhm.
can talk a good game, but if there's no follow up or no consistency, then we're just back at square one.
And it's like, did he do that because he knew he was gonna be on camera? That's the
Yeah.
question that I had leaving the scene, is like, okay, the call ended better than I was expecting, but
Uh-huh.
did it end that way because he knew he was on camera and he wanted to save face? We don't know. I guess hopefully, with this situation that's going on with Wendy, he has been supportive, at least to the extent of maybe reaching out to her a little more or sending her love. But
Yeah.
it's a delicate situation. Daughters and fathers, I mean, children and fathers, period. Children and
Yeah.
parents, right? It's always so delicate because there's always a deficit that children feel. From what I hear, it's a deficit that you never grow out of. No matter
Yeah.
how old you are, you always still long for that. And we are seeing that with Wendy. And so we leave Wendy. We go over to Kay and Greg, and
I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is happening in this scene? I'm like, it felt so performative. And back to, I'm very observant. Back to just the tone in which Greg was speaking. I'm like, wait, why does his voice sound different than? Did you notice that too?
yes, they
Okay, I was like, wait. I was like,
fake.
huh?
Yes.
It was just. I'm like, wait, we've seen him for a year, well, previous season, and they've had
Mhm.
discussions. His tone was not the same in this scene, so it told me it's all performative, like
Oh, absolutely.
all performative.
They're trying to rehab his image.
Yes, and it
They're
was
trying to
hard.
rehab his image.
It's not working. It's not working because it doesn't feel genuine.
Exactly,
And
that's
if
the thing.
and if we can tell you and I that his voice, he was speaking differently, then that's
But Kay does that too. Like,
oh,
I've noted that a couple of times. Every scene with her and Greg feels so inauthentic to me because I can tell that they're both trying to put their best foot forward because he had a rough season when we saw him last.
yeah.
But for me, this is my advice. If you come on the show as like a boyfriend, a husband, whatever, and you're an asshole like in real life, people are gonna tear you up about it, but you can't then the next season not be an asshole because now it's like that's not who you are. I say if you're an asshole and this woman loves you for that, just be who you are.
Case in point, Angela and Charles. He might not be an asshole per se, but he gives
Right.
that a certain energy that's Angela's like, that's my man. I'm gonna stick beside him. That's how he is. this is who Charles Oakley is. So the
Yes.
audience has moved. So you kind of make the audience naturally move on from them pinpointing out that your husband is a certain way. I'm confused because I don't know what Kiana wants. If she wants the house or to be married or to live, like it's all jumbled together. So in this scene, to me, when they're discussing the condo, I'm like, wait, what am I watching? Because I'm lost. Are you lost too, Jazz?
No, I'm not lost.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not lost is because I can say, I think I'm not certain of this again, we don't know these people personally. I think that Kay is going along with what Greg wants because she wants that relationship, right? So if Greg says we don't need to be married or we can work on that, then Kay is like, well, we don't need to be married. We don't need the outside
Okay.
applause. Like she
Got it.
specifically notes that even down to them talking about the deed. She sounded like going into that, she wants to be on the deed when and if they get married. Then he said, well, we don't need to do all that because we're only going to be here for X amount of years. I was looking at the screen and I'm like, well, good thing Kay has that condo in her name.
Okay, that's the part that I was like, that famous Charrisse and Miss Lawrence meme, like, When my thing is this, did he buy it for you if her name's not on the deed?
Well, I think the name is on the deed of her condo, but the name is not on the deed of the house that he
Okay,
lives in.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so she moved into his house. He's effectively probably on the mortgage and the deed, right? Which
Yeah,
also want to clear up because I think I've seen this online. I think people get confused by what the mortgage and the deed. Those are two different
yeah.
things. So like the
Mm-hmm.
mortgage, and I'm not saying this to you. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying it to people who may not know. So the mortgage makes you financially responsible. If you're on the mortgage and the deed, obviously you're financially responsible and you are the owner. If you're not on the mortgage, that means you are not responsible for paying for it. But if you're on the deed, then the other person on the deed, they cannot sell that home without you. So
Yeah.
that gives you like full ownership of the home, even once it's paid off. So the fact that he doesn't want her on the deed is interesting, even when they get married.
To your point, you made a great point that Kiana kind of like just parrots whatever
Yeah.
he says. My thing last year, at the end of last year, I had a question like, why does she want to get married to a man who's recently divorced so quickly? Why can't you just live together? And I
Right.
can't remember how long they've been together. I
Couple years, I think.
couple of years. Okay. I don't know if she's kind of like wanting to like, I don't say chase, but desire marriage because of the show to make her
Mhm.
footing on the show or, get Bravo to hire her full time. But it's just her story is the story of them is not, it keeps changing to me or just kind of all intersects. So it's like, what does she want? And to your point, she only wants what he wants.
Yeah. Yep. And
And he knows
he knows
it.
that. That's what that Giselle said that, like, earlier in the episode, though, like, she pointed that out, like, he doesn't have to do more than what he's doing because he knows that she's gonna stick around, and listen, women, all of us, no matter how old we are, I don't wanna say all, there probably are genuinely some women out there who do not care for partnership, but I will say most of us, and I feel confident saying that, most of us like partnership and desire partnership, so, to me, is nothing wrong with her wanting to be married to this man. If you love him, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with desiring marriage, but I think there is a point where you have to say, "This is really what I want." Not whatever you want is cool. I want this with you. Not giving him an ultimatum, "If you don't do this, I'll leave." But somewhere in that category of, "Hey, you keep playing with me, like, I moved out, I'm moving back in, there's still no progression." You go to the jewelry store,
Mm.
you have me open a bag from the jewelry store, and it's a damn picture frame?
You know
Stop
that
playing.
clip of Medea at that play when she like clears the whole table and
I don't.
it's like it's a stage play and someone does something and she just clears the whole table and like shakes it and throws it. That's what she would have done. She
Yeah.
should have done that scene. And some another you make great points when it comes to Kiana. Her kind of not communicating what she wants, I think that is making her a bad communicator with the rest of the group because she can't
Mhm.
even tell Stacy
What the
what
problem is.
the problem is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I love when discuss and dissect these shows because then I think of things. I'm like, oh, so now I'm following. So the reason why she is not as effective in communication because in her personal life dealing with Greg, she hasn't really articulated exactly what she wants. Therefore, when it comes to anyone in her friend group in her life, she can't be effective because this one spot.
Yeah, because your partner is your baseline, right? Or your,
Yeah.
it's your family, then your partner.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you spend the most time with. That becomes your baseline for communication,
Mm-hmm.
for affection. You know what I mean? So if at your baseline you are not able to communicate exactly what you want out of fear of rejection or somebody shutting down, when you go past your baseline, that's going to be hard. That's a great note.
Oh my, yeah, it clicked. I'm like,
Yep.
that's why she cannot articulate herself with Stacy.
Yep. Yep, that's it.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see more on that though. But I do want to talk about the meat of this episode, which was the
Hmm.
final scene at Wendy's home. Her mom and her sister come by. She's showing her mother her renovations. And again, we see that glimpse of that girl who just wants approval. She's seeking approval, wants her mom to be proud of the renovations. And the conversation turns to her father. I need to get your thoughts about everything that transpired in this. I have some specific points, but
Uh-huh.
just overall, how did you feel watching this?
There's three sides to every story.
Mhm.
I'll say that. The first thing with Wendy's mom, she is fully in her Mama Joyce era,
Yes.
meaning playing to the cameras.
Yeah.
And earlier this season, when she got up and was showing off and doing all this, and my daughter buys, I said, Mama Joyce.
Yeah.
I call it the Mama Joyce effect. When a mom has been on, she's comfortable. She's starting to, got her hair and in fashions, and
And the
she's going to give,
contacts.
yes, and she's going to give you what you want. Mama Joyce is a template for that. Three sides to every story. I do think there's Wendy desiring a relationship with her dad and being disappointed that she went to Nigeria and was there that long and didn't see him.
Mhm.
That to me is horrible.
Yeah.
Because I think she felt for her kids. And I don't know if she told the kids we were going to see grandpa and never happened.
Yeah.
The mom has super valid points. If he was gone all basically when they were small kids and
Mhm.
she worked for jobs and helped put them through school, she has every right to be angry.
Yeah.
Like she has every right to be angry. However, cursing at your daughter, one thing about me, I didn't grow up in a household where people cursing, mom cursing, dad cursing at me. No, that cursing at your kid is not, that to me is is so disrespectful.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
I watched this scene again, and when Wendy pointed at her mom, I think Wendy didn't realize what she was doing. She was trying to focus on, okay, let me get these kids out of
Right.
here. It wasn't like a I'm telling you off, mom. Yeah,
Right.
like you should like hold on and then let me. I think she was. It was the finger was a more of a hold on.
Right.
Let me get my kids out of here before this goes any further. Yeah, that's my initial. I draw the line at cursing because
Yeah.
that was just awful. And of course, the kids heard,
That's
and
it.
that's just it just wasn't a good look.
And it's also you're in my home talking to me that way, and I think there is a distinction to draw. They are Nigerian, her mother came to America from Nigeria. So, what I have been reading online is that's actually on brand for Nigerian
Okay.
parents and for them to talk to their children like that. I am not a child of immigrants, like, my parents are American, and I think all my entire life, my parents have handled me, I will say, with I don't wanna say a level of respect as if they feared me or anything like
Uh-huh.
that, because they very much were, like, authoritative figures, but my
Yeah.
parents have always kind of, like, even in times when I would get cussed out by my mom, my dad never really talked to us too crazy. He would yell sometimes, but, like, my mom was the disciplinary parent,
Yeah.
right? And I think even in her disciplinary actions, there was always room for us to have a rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? Not like yelling back at her, but it's like there was always some room there. Not to say I didn't get whoopings or anything like that, because I definitely remember a wooden spoon. But and then as I became an adult though, right? Like me and my parents communicate as if we are all adults in the room. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? There's never gonna be, I'm gonna curse you out in your home and then expect that I'm gonna just do that and no one's gonna say anything. You're not gonna raise your voice. And I think that's something that I won't understand about immigrant parents. And
Yeah.
my fiance, his mom is from Panama. And
Okay.
while she's not disrespectful to him, she's very much like, I'm your mother. You know, if he gets a little too, it's wait, I'm your mom. So I have witnessed it firsthand. And I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. Because once again, I'm in my 30s. My parents recognize you are our child, but you're also a grown ass woman.
Yes.
Let's communicate that way, you know?
It was so tough to watch. And even because going back to the Mama Joyce effect, she talked to Candy. And kind
Yeah.
of she wasn't
Oh,
she never cursed at Candy. She never cursed at
right.
Candy. She talked to her and kind of bulldozed over her and Todd and all this other stuff. So it
That's a great call out. I'm sorry to cut you off.
mhm.
And Mama Joyce, by all accounts, is American, right?
Yes,
So,
yeah.
ooh, Southern though. Southern,
Mhm.
maybe. Ooh, okay.
I
I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I did feel, sad for Wendy when she was like, I always feel like I'm alone. Is them two against me. So I get when she said that, that added another nuance to her wanting to have a relationship with her dad because she does it, she feels like an outsider.
Yeah.
And two, it goes back to the point you made earlier. Wendy, her need to impress people.
Yep.
And I think the root of all this and the current court proceedings, her desire to impress, and it's like maybe in her mom's eyes is never enough.
Yep.
Because even when her mom came in the renovations and stuff, she was like, this costs arm and leg, and she was looking around. "Oh, okay, okay. It's I don't know. It's yes, she has immigrant parents, and sometimes immigrant parents want more.
Mhm, mhm.
The 4 degrees, the you're on a TV show, you're a teacher, you're this and that. I just think that desire in Wendy it escaped her, and it kind of led down this path that she's on currently,
Yeah.
her and her husband. On the bright side of this scene, I laughed because I didn't realize they were all wearing Bring Eddie Out t-shirts.
Yeah.
I
The
said,
kids.
okay, y'all dragging it. I was like, y'all dragging it. And then when her mom and her sister were like, yes, bring Eddie
Yes.
out. I was like, okay, that's kind of funny. That's
That
kind
was a cute, like, moment because the boys are wearing Bring Eddie Out, and then Cameron and Wendy had on the same dress, like, super super cute, but
of, I
yeah.
have a joke. I have a joke. I have a joke.
Okay.
So if they get sentenced, I didn't want to wear a Bring Eddie Out t-shirt. I mean,
Bring Eddie Out will have a new meaning if they go.
yes. Yeah.
Lord forgive us for laughing. I'm so sorry, but listen, the jokes gotta fly. The jokes
Yes,
gotta fly. I'm gonna
that
make a joke. If it's funny, it just is what it is. Yeah, Bring Eddie Out shirts will have a whole new meaning.
baby.
Eddie Hennessy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. This scene to me was like super hard to watch because I really was just like, Wendy, I want you to stand up a little more. Even when Eddie came out, he
Yeah.
was so like, I'm just trying, like, I know this voices are raising. And again, cultural differences, right? I think
Yeah.
that based on what I've been reading, he did exactly as much as he could do. They were
Yes.
saying like he could
Mhm.
never raise his voice at his mother-in-law. That is never gonna fly within their culture. So he did as much as he could do to diffuse the situation. But I was happy when they left because I'm like, you could just see how hurt Wendy was by that. And I mean, anybody with siblings knows there is a point where like you're gonna feel like your mom is taking your sibling's side and like they're ganging up on you. That's so relatable. But if you feel like that all the time, like to me, it's just, well, what is it about? Like, why is Wendy the odd man out? Unless, and I
Uh-huh.
have done this before. You exaggerate that they always do that because sometimes it is you and your mom against your sibling or
Yeah.
whatever. But I don't know.
But then the point in her mom, she said, Wendy was too American, you know,
I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear, yeah, she was like, you got too American. Something, I forgot what preceded the line that preceded that, but it was when Eddie was walking out, he left his office and he walked out. She said, see, you're too American. I guess when she was talking back, that's what she was talking
Oh,
back to her mom. And she was, you're too
whoa.
American. And in my mind, I'm like, but Wendy's Americanness affords you
Good
to look
point.
up the things and
That was tough, and, I mean, her mom asked her if she had an attention-seeking disorder. I was like,
not Mama Joyce 3.0. I'm like, you on camera.
not the way you be pumping through. Does she have an attention seek? You seek attention too, and I say that respectfully. I say
Mhm.
that respectfully, right?
Yeah.
I don't ever wanna seem like I'm coming for somebody's mother, but, like, That to me, I was like, that's such a rich comment coming from her.
Yes. I,
It was tough to watch, and that is where we leave the episode. And so my hope for Wendy is that she has a really good therapist, because there's so many feelings of rejection and seeking approval and all of these things that you do have to deal with. And as successful as Wendy has become, you're right. I think she has suffered from feeling like it's never enough. And that's sad.
yeah.
Love one another, in the words of Julie Chen Moonves, Big Brother.
Lord.
Yeah. So, Carlos J. Harris, before I let you go, can you play a quick game with me?
Of course.
Alrighty. So this one's called Dinner Party Guest List, and I ask every guest that comes on Channel Surf this. You are throwing your dream dinner party. You got the dream chef, the music, the drinks, the decor, everything is perfect. You get 5 invitations to this party to give out. What 5 reality stars are you inviting to your dinner party?
Oh my God, that's a great question.
Thank
That
you.
the first, oh my God, across reality.
Across all reality.
Yeah.
I know it's very broad, right?
The first one has to be Nene Leaks.
Nene is the most popular guest. I mean, this woman, she is gonna be booked up for years at this point with the dinner
But
parties.
I need Nene with the shortcut, and when it was season 5, 6, when the back was I need the piece, the fresh blonde that was swooped and the
Come
back
on.
kind of crunchy. I need that Nene Leaks. Who else? Kenya Summer Moore.
Oh gosh.
I need, yeah, 'cause I need those two to go back and forth, telling you what to drink, what to eat. Let me think. Mary Cosby.
Ooh, chaotic. Okay.
Yes, and unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
Unpredictable.
We're gonna make sure we have that 2003 Dom Perignon
Yes,
at
yes.
this party. Okay.
Who else? Okay, so at least two more people. Two more people. Who else? Let me think. I'll go to New York. I'll invite Luann de Lesseps for the grandeur and delusions
And the performance.
and performance. I want a little cabaret afterwards. Who else? Oh, that would be nice. I was gonna say Kim Richards, but I'm like, nah, because we have alcohol and I don't wanna.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. You said Kim Richards, and I thought of Kim Fields, but yes, no. This will not be a good environment for Kim Richards. And not a good
um,
environment for Kim Fields either, because Kenya
yeah.
will be there.
You know what? Erica Jane, so we can all grill her. Because Erica Jane had the wrong women grilling her. And
Mm.
with Kenya, Nene, and Mary grilling her, she'll crack.
And Erica gets this, she puts on this veneer when she's around more cooler
Yeah.
people, I'll say,
Yeah.
for lack of a better words,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so we got Nene, Kenya, Mary, Luann, and
And
Erica.
Eric. The old Nene, the blonde.
Oh, Nene, yeah,
Yeah.
season 5 Nene.
And yeah.
Crunchy tail Nene.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Yes, Nene's so popular. Mary and Luann have both been invited before. I think Erica has been. And I want to say you might be the second person to say Kenya. You know what's so sad about Kenya? I think
Uh-huh.
people are like forgetting about her right now. And
Yeah.
it makes me so sad. But hey, we'll dig more into her when we start talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta when they come back. But until then, can you let my subscribers know where they can find you and follow you?
Sure, you can follow me on Twitter at Carlos J. Harris. I'm on there talking all things popular culture, music, fashion, and of course, reality TV.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my Real Housewives of Potomac recap with Carlos J. Harris. Make sure you guys go follow him on Twitter. He has some of the most fun pop culture takes, and he's a really good conversationalist, because even if you disagree with something he says, he's willing to engage in conversation and like civil discourse with you. So go and follow him, and then make sure you guys come back next time, because I will be recapping another show. Bye.